Uh-oh.
Okay, we'll start with this. An interesting tweet from Floyd Schofield, rather, Floyd Schofield's father, who handles his social media. He said, "We don't care about the WBC title. We are a WBA fighter and loyal to them. All we want is time in the ring with Shakur Stevenson to break his face. Shakur talks a lot and will need to back up every word. VADA hidden enhancements cannot make your bones stronger."
What?
The Schofields, in the build-up of this weekend's fight, have been saying this and that about Shakur Stevenson.
VADA hidden enhancements?
I don't even really know what they mean by that, but it's important to note that it is Floyd's father that handles all of his social media, so you gotta take whatever is posted with a pinch of salt.
I mean, at this point, we're trolling. We're trolling. Everybody does it online. He does it. So now it's like, now that the tables have turned and it's on you, now you want to get in your feelings. Now you want to feel a certain type of way. But when you're talking about other people during camp and during your camps, and you're talking your trash, like nobody can talk back.
The implications are a bit more than just talking back or talking trash. You're implying that he's receiving hidden enhancements by way of VADA testing?
What?
And what really grabbed my attention, it's the first line. "We don't care about the WBC title. We are WBA fighters and loyal to them." I've never really heard someone pledge fealty, allegiance to an alphabet organization. That's a curious statement to make.
You're loyal to the WBA, so you don't care about winning the WBC. So what, are you gonna blow it away to something? Should we expect that when the fighters are weighing in, because you don't care about the green and gold belt, you're gonna come in a bit over?
Floyd Schofield needs every advantage he can get because he's in over his head here. This is a pretty broad leap, a big step up in competition from the guys that he has been fighting. This is Shakur Stevenson's fight to win. Even though he's coming off an injury and subsequent surgery,
he's the guy who's been a champion at 3 weights. He is the defending champion.
The former Olympian, whereas Floyd Schofield is little more than just a prospect. A stand-in for what was supposed to be William Zepeda. Not much is expected of Floyd. So what I think we're going to see, Floyd Schofield's going to barrel forward because he's a characteristically aggressive fighter. He'll do his best to put pressure on Shakur, but it's not going to work.
Shakur's going to stay on his toes, meet him at the door with the jab, meet him at the door with the counters.
While he's on the move, while he's on his bike, to keep a bit of space between him and Floyd Schofield. And that's going to happen often enough, round after round, that Floyd's going to become hesitant, tentative, afraid to let his hands go because every time he does, he's getting punched in the mouth.
The conservative pick is Shakur Stevenson on points because he's not a knockout merchant. He's not a knockout puncher. But if he really wants to send a message to the rest of the division and all the other talkative fighters out there, you stop this kid.
You knock him out. Him and his daddy have had a lot to say about you in the build-up. Now you're going to make him pay for it in front of everybody.
Knock him out.
Walking him into punches with some regularity, hard counters in between the holes, the gaps in his guard. Floyd Schofield really is a fun, young fighter to watch, but there's more work needs doing.
Good offense, not so good defense.
Him getting knocked down in his last fight is an example of that. And so what I envision is between the jab and the hard counters, the movement, Floyd is going to struggle to get within range of Shakur Stevenson. He's going to become tentative and hesitant, and there's going to be quiet moments after that, where Shakur Stevenson will be the one in control.
He'll simmer him down and keep control. Floyd is going to try to get off to a fast start, but he's going to get countered.
He's going to get disarmed. Whether or not Shakur Stevenson decides to hit the gas after that, after he assumes control, that's up to him.
He's not a knockout merchant.
He's not the guy that you bank on to get the other guy out of there, so I don't know that I can trust him to do that, but Shakur Stevenson on points is the logical way to go.
He wins a decision.
I'm gonna be like honest with you. Like, I'm not chasing Tank. I don't care about Tank for real. I'm 13-0. Like, in the world, a lot of the world know me, you know, and that ain't come from me fighting names. That came from me kicking ass and taking names and taking belts. So literally, only thing I had to do is keep doing what I'm doing. A Gervonta Tank, me not fighting him is not gonna stop me continuing going to the top. Mm-hmm. Real talk. So I'm not chasing Tank. Let's put that out there. F Tank, for real. Tank know I want to fight him. His coach know I want to fight him. The boxing world know I want to fight him. The question is, do Tank have the balls to fight me? So next time one of y'all, somebody interviewing him, ask him that question. Do you have the balls to fight Keyshawn? Do you want to fight Keyshawn? Why don't you want to fight Keyshawn? Why do you want to fight Keyshawn? Ask him those questions. Don't ask me, because I will fight anybody.
Keyshawn Davis was right to put that burden on the media. They're the ones who've got to ask Gervonta Davis the hard questions, and so often they don't because they're afraid of how he'll react.
That you don't need to ask Shakur or Keyshawn, do they want to fight Gervonta Davis? By now you know they do. The question is, does Gervonta want to fight them? And if so, why not? And every time he makes a public appearance, it's the media that's supposed to hound him, not them.
That's the way it used to be in previous eras of boxing, but not so much these days. I won't accuse Ariel Helwani himself of being complicit.
Not him.
Because I don't think he's actually ever interviewed Gervonta Davis, and in the sport of boxing, he is a late entrant. He crossed over from mixed martial arts into the world of boxing, and now he's covering both sports. So he's not necessarily the guilty party, but there are many who are.
The ones who were already here.
Celebrating Gervonta Davis's mediocre pay-per-views, those mediocre metrics regaling him as the face of boxing or a guy who's on his way, whatever.
Asking softball questions as to not ruffle his feathers so they can in turn continue to have access to him.
While asking Shakur and Keyshawn questions everybody already knows the answers to. Of course they want to fight Gervonta Davis, but it takes two to tango.
More pressure needs to be placed on Gervonta, not them.
It's all probably much ado about nothing anyway, since this is supposed to be the year that Gervonta Davis bows out and calls it a career.
Retires.
So Keyshawn Davis doesn't have much riding on a Gervonta Davis fight. If it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, it's not stopping his momentum.
Can I ask you, do you think he wants to fight you, or as you say, have the balls to fight you?
Man, like I said, he's like, I don't know what this guy want to do. Who would have thought that he would have, first of all, he want to put out there, he fighting Lamont Roach now. He want to put out there, yo, I tried to fight Lomachenko, and he ducked me. No, dude, you ducked Lomachenko about 3-4 years ago when Lomachenko was an undisputed champion and you ain't want to fight him, so he went to go fight Teofimo Lopez that beat him. That's how that fight happened. You was supposed to been fight Lomachenko. Tank, you been the face of 135. This ain't nothing new, dude. You feel me? Mm-hmm. He waited till Lomachenko is out his prime to fight him.
Pointing out the obvious. A lot of that, we've heard that before because we've said it ourselves here on this channel, that you wait good up until the guy wants to retire to finally fight him. You're just making it obvious you've been aging him out all these years. All this time,
You were running from that fight.
there's a paper trail a mile long, about as long as a Target receipt.
You were running.
So it doesn't fool anybody. It doesn't fool Keyshawn. It doesn't fool the fans. You're finding more and more of this talk from more of Gervonta Davis's contemporaries, his fellow boxers.
The walls are closing in.
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. I don't like.
Just not your cup of tea. That's just not
Yeah,
your.
I don't like nothing about him.
Like Tank, his whole career, what he been doing was he always asks, "Why should I fight this guy? Why should I fight that guy?" But then he go fight somebody else, and now I can ask a question on why did you fight him?
You know, I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like, you know, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's, you know, using what he got to shield him.
For example, Lamont Roach, he a great fighter, but he had 130, I believe. Why you fighting him? Like, you could have fought Shakur. You could have fought Anybody else, but you follow a guy from 130 and just brought him up and just say, yeah, he the one, he deserve a fight. Why? He didn't do anything. So I don't know what's up with that.
You know, like he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, you know what I mean, he in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Gervonta Davis, reacting to that Cigar Talk interview with Terrence Crawford, said, F the guy that interviewed that raccoon and F that raccoon. And I will be in New York City in 2 weeks. No security. How about that? Link up.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Tough guy act is becoming more and more of a tough sell. The more purses Gervonta Davis buys, the more times he paints his nails.
Less tough he seems.
Why, what are you gonna do, bite Terrence Crawford's ankles? You're a toy poodle, and in your own racket, you're a protected fighter. Everybody knows it.
You're just mad that more and more people are pointing it out. Are you going to do something to Brian Norman, too? Are you going to do something to Keyshawn Davis?
No.
So let's get down to brass tacks. The reason that Keyshawn Davis places no emphasis on a Gervonta Davis fight, even though it would be the biggest fight of his career so far, is likely because he doesn't plan on staying at 135 anyway. He never had much riding on that fight or what happens at lightweight because he wasn't going to have an extended stay there anyway. It won't be long before he moves up to 140 because he's a big 135, big enough that I could see him doing well at 140 and even 147. So if a Gervonta Davis fight don't happen for him, he knows it's not the end of the world. There are other fights.
And the likelihood of that fight with Gervonta materializing wasn't likely at all. It was never going to happen anyway.
You can't miss out on what you never had.
It's not actually pivotal to Keyshawn's career that he land that Gervonta Davis fight. There's the champions at 140. There's the guys at 147. Teofimo.
Devin, Ryan, whoever else is there by the time he gets there.
That fighting Gervonta Davis is hardly the end-all and be-all for a young fighter who's 12-0, 13-0, and just became a world champion.
You don't want to fight? It's all right. Just stop asking him the same questions.
Go ask Gervonta about that shit.
And then I heard T.O. did it. T.O., you doing everything to make yourself relevant, man. It's the taxes. He got taxes problem. It's the taxes that's killing him. So he trying to cash out. He was trying to fight, the world champ, the IBF world champ. I ain't gonna mention his name. He trying to fight the IBF world champ. That he had to realize like that's not a big enough fight, and he probably lose that jump. So now he trying to come this way. Guess what? I ain't fighting you. I ain't helping you out. No.
Keyshawn Davis's opinion, all of these shenanigans from Teofimo were build up for a potential fight between them. I don't agree with that because I don't actually think Teofimo wants to fight Keyshawn, and that's what that presupposition relies on. That Teofimo's building a fight, you're still at 135 and he's on his way out of 140.
Up to 147.
You're still with Top Rank, whereas he's been trying to sever ties with Top Rank. He wants to go his own way and do his own thing, and he's on the eve of doing that. So I would not equate Teofimo's recent shenanigans as a way for him to build up a fight between yous. I think it's more of a passive-aggressive effort to get back at you for what you did to his dad.
Your daddy got the treatment already, so it's nothing else for me to do. I understand why you bringing that smoke to me. I understand. What's up, Shakur? What's up, Shakur? I understand why you bringing that smoke to me, because your father got it. When I was 19, your father got it. I understand.
People naturally assume that this is all build up for a fight a la Jerry Cooney versus Larry Holmes so many years ago, and the racial vitriol that was part of the build up that helped to sell it. If Teofimo's going that route, it's not because of Cooney versus Holmes, it's because he's a racist. That's all it is.
That's the long and the short of it. He's not trying to build a fight.
What he's doing is taking a page out of Ryan Garcia's playbook and the racial tirade that he had and all the attention that got him.
He wants attention. He's definitely trying to get attention.
There are other ways to draw attention to yourself as a pugilist without making racially charged statements.
I ain't helping you out. Go ahead and call me scared and all that shit. I don't care. I'm not helping you out. You came in this game rich and you leave the game broke. You racist, bro. I'm not helping you out. At the end of the day, you fight somebody like me right now, I'm helping you out. We making a lot of money. It's gonna be we gonna walk out that ring millionaires. I don't want to fight you, T.O. Nope. Fight somebody else. Go fight Claggett again. and make you a quick little whatever you just made, and then come fight me. But I ain't gonna be the first one that you fight. I'm not helping you out. You gonna send me bananas and watermelon? No, it was smart promotion. You know, he promoted himself very well. But I hope he get a fight off that, because he ain't fighting me. I don't want to fight him. He racist. It's probably not even gonna get to the fight. I'm telling you, he racist.
I don't know like where bro head be at. It's just certain shit I be hearing. It's just like, you know, crazy to me. You know, I don't really hear much about him. I know he's going certain things are out there with him and his wife. I don't know what was that situation about. So I don't know if she took half of his money. He looking for a big fight. He just ready to pull a race card to get a big fight. Whatever he trying to do, whatever now. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's what Richardson Hitchins thinks. Richardson Hitchins, who Teofimo Lopez was calling out for a unification match, and we haven't heard much in terms of that.
We don't know where we are with that. What we do know is that Turkey has plans for him, and we also know is that Turkey likes to move fast.
Maybe he has something else in mind for Teofimo Lopez, perhaps at another weight. Maybe they're exploring a Mario Barrios fight, which I've talked about on several occasions, that if Teofimo's on the eve of moving up after his next fight, he might as well just get a head start on that and go up to welterweight now, fight Mario Barrios. But in a word, Richardson Hitchins thinks that the reason Teofimo's saying all these racist things is to get a fight.
He's money hungry after his ex-wife took all his money.
Maybe that's the case. Teofimo did admit that he's in the process of finalizing his divorce, though I hardly think going through a divorce is all of a sudden going to make you a racist. No, he's only saying what he was already thinking.
And all the stress just brought it out.
Because it's hardly necessary to go this route when Turkey wants to use you for one or some of his shows. You're only saying what you were already thinking. You don't actually want to get back at Keyshawn Davis under the hot lights in the ring because you don't know if you could beat him, so you'll settle for calling him a monkey and sending him some bananas and a watermelon.
And Hitchins?
I mean, he said he wanted to fight him, but perhaps they've doubled back on that and they have a new route they want to go. They have a new plan. We're coming up short in terms of answers as to what exactly the future holds for Teofimo, but while we wait, it would seem that he's spiraling out of control. He was already a dysfunctional guy.
How many years now have I been saying that kid's head is a bag of cats?
Tumultuous family life. Add to that a divorce that's stressful for anyone. A boxer, a young one. I read an article that stated the two most stressful times in an adult's life, is when they're moving from one place to the next and when they're going through a divorce.
Like Teofimo.
So that when that 3 or 4 fight deal with Turkey LL Sheikh begins, I'd be surprised if Teofimo makes it all the way through without suffering another loss, because he'll pay you and he'll pay you well, but what he's not going to do is match you soft.
You wanted to get away from Top Rank so bad.
We know you don't like Matchroom, so they're not an alternative. So you ended up with Turkey, who's paying the best money in boxing right now, but it ain't without strings attached.
We'll see what happens.